I'm just a boy from Kansas out to save the world from chronic disease. And I truly mean that. Nobody is in control of your health but you. I can't heal you. Your doctor can't heal you. You have to heal you. And it's all about having the education and empowerment to know what you need to be changing within yourself, within your life, to set your soul free and accomplish that best life that we all like to talk about. And I truly believe that the greatest medicine of all is to teach people how not to need it. I'm Brendan Vermeyer, the original Holistic Savage. Welcome to the Holistic Savage Podcast. Resonated with me a lot is like, you're the embodiment of a holistic savage if I've ever seen one, because you're naturopathic physician, chiropractor, very holistic minded, but you're also just like a punk rock savage chick that lifts heavy weights all the time. So I'd love to hear you just riff a little bit on like why you feel strength training and resistance training is so crucial as part of, any kind of functional holistic, program or path.
Well, I think it's a non-negotiable, first of all. Like, I don't think it's something that people get to say like, oh, I don't like that, so I don't want to. Like, I think with the goal of obtaining strength should always be first and foremost, because for one, everything else just clears up. If you're strength training on the regular, and I mean smart strength training, not like overdoing it, chasing numbers, trying to PR all the time, it's not bodybuilding, it's strength training. Mm-hmm. I know you have done some bodybuilding, but like, I do realize, I watch your Instagram, like you're after strength at this point and endurance. Mm-hmm. And you drink your water when you strength train, you eat your protein, you get to sleep, your sleep is improved. All these wonderful things happen. Libido improves. You want to have sex more. You want to do all the things that are good for you. You want to actually, like I said, put yourself to bed at a decent hour. You feed yourself in regular intervals because suddenly like your body's like, I need protein right now. It's not really negotiable. And you have metabolic flexibility, of course, because you learn to intermittent fast. But I was just really quickly, I was a really sick little kid. And then I somehow got really strong as a gymnast as a child. I was a really strong gymnast. And it was like shocking how strong I was. I had like that crazy little girl strength that you've probably seen videos of little girls and you're like, yeah. I was that girl. And then somewhere around 14, my parents moved me to Oregon and I lost the sun. I had grown up in Southern California and I was always really fit and I was a surfer and all that. And then I suddenly found myself with no sun around. I was depressed. I started chain smoking cigarettes. I started hanging out with the punk rock kids. I started, just like self-starving to death because I wasn't able to maintain that lean physique I'd always had as a young person. And suddenly I was no longer tan and I was like getting pudgy because the people are just kind of pudgy in Oregon, to be honest. It's just a lot to do with the weather. And it's not even like cold weather. It's like, at least with you guys where you live, where it's cold, you guys maintain some semblance of physique because like that, the cold at least hits your heat shock proteins. But in Oregon, it's just like damp and everybody gets mold sickness. And anyway, fast forward many, many years, I've had a child that was rough. That was not easy. Nobody was winning on that side. Then I was in naturopathic school and chiropractic college concurrently. So I literally was just wasting away and skin and bones and sat on my ass all day long because I was in 2 medical programs concurrently, which was insane. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. And then I got out of school. I was getting really into Pilates, which does have a strength component, and I was responding very well to it because of my gymnastics background, but it was so kind of slow, methodical. And I want to listen to like Metallica and Tool and like throw shit around and like I think in my past life I was a warrior and I really embraced that. Like I feel like a warrior, and so I needed to do something that represented that for me. And I thought, how can I get in and out of whatever exercise I need to do in the shortest? I had done running, like I ran half marathons, like I'd done all that nonsense, all that cardio bunny 80s bullshit that all of us ladies in our middle. I'm 45, so like I was right in the middle of that. I was also like that girl in the early 90s. I was 18 in 1991. So like to be as skinny as humanly possible, which was all the rage. And especially in the Pacific Northwest, it was like, my goal was for my whole arm to be as big around as my wrist. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was just skin and bones. So I'd done all of that, and I metabolically had pretty much fried my system out. I found myself quite ill, quite depleted, and I thought, I hit 40, and I was like I need to eat and lift. I'm going to do that and see what happens. That was the other part. I had self-starved for decades. I had bulimia. Like I'd had the whole thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my shit together and I'm going to eat and lift. And I started eating and lifting, and I hired a strength and conditioning coach. I interviewed several, not boot camp nonsense, not just straight bodybuilding, not machines. I was like, I want to deadlift, and I want to, I was so skinny. I was like, please don't do any body composition analysis, because clearly I need to gain weight. I mean, I was probably 20 pounds less than I am now. It was terrible. And started deadlifting and squatting. It was ridiculous, Brennan. I couldn't even hip hinge. Like, I couldn't even hip hinge appropriately. Yeah. I had chronic pain everywhere in my body. I'd been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. My SI joints were so unstable that when I stood up in the morning and I would sneeze, I'd have to brace myself against the wall because my SI would disjoint and I would drop. It was horrible. I would blow ribs out just from sneezing. I was pretty sure if I fell over, I was going to shatter. Yeah. So my goal was just muscle, strength. And that was 2013 or 2014. I mean, this stuff takes time, as you well know. And so, I just started going after strength. And then it was like the best antidepressant I'd ever had. It was the best everything I'd ever had. It was the best medicine. I have had access to some of the most premier physicians in the world